Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Sean Huggins and this is Europe with Hugs. Thank you so much for being here. Today we are checking out the don'ts of Poland. Oh, when you're visiting Poland, do not do these things. Do not do these things if you're visiting Poland. Link to the original video down in the description as always, but let's waste no more time yapping and just hop straight into it. Here we go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walt.
Also, if you're Polish out there, if any of you viewers are Polish, or if you've ever been to Poland, then definitely let me know down in the comments if any of this stuff or some of this stuff or none of this stuff is true, because I definitely plan on going to Poland, so I need to know if this is actually true. Anyways, enough yapping.
So today we're in Warsaw, Poland, for things you don't do when you are here in Poland. And I'm going to get off started, not even with number one. Before we even get started with number one, I'm going to start with number zero. The thing you need to know before you come here is don't tell or call the Polish Eastern Europeans. You will not make any friends saying that. If you look on a map, you'll see that Poland is actually in the center of Europe, a little bit north, but it's in the center of Europe. And they like to be called Central Europeans, not Eastern Europeans.
Okay. Seems like a seems like a very random thing to get uptight about, but that's fine. I'm down for it.
And so I want to get that one out of the way first, because that's probably your quickest don't to really upset people. So remember, don't say Eastern Europe, okay? Now, when you're going to meet the Polish people here, our second, or I guess our first don't for you is don't shake hands or say goodbye over the threshold, like in a doorway. People really don't like that. So either make it choose your side. Are you in the door or are you out of the door?
Whoa. Okay, so don't shake hands like through a doorway, basically. Interesting. That has to be like a superstition, like bad luck or something, I guess, but interesting.
Or when you shake hands and say goodbye, just one of those little things there. And if you do get to meet some Polish people and they invite you to your home, when you go there, if you see they're wearing slippers or they're not wearing shoes, you don't wear your shoes in the house either. It's kind of rude that way. So just three quick little ones to start off with, just to give you some ideas of hospitality here in Poland. So our next don't for you has to deal with the language. Look, don't underestimate how helpful a few words of Polish will be.
Okay, this is good advice for anywhere that you go, though. If you are a tourist in a faraway land and you just know a couple of words, even if the people know that you are a tourist, if you could just say like, please, thank you, hello, like, you know, a couple, like 5 to 10 of the most basic things, that really does go a long way. I think that's good advice for anywhere, not just Poland.
For you and your visit here, whether you're up in Gdansk, you're down in Krakow or Lublin or wherever, because we all know that no one watching this video probably speaks Polish unless you're Polish by ancestry. And the thing is the Poles know that, and so they learn. They see a lot of people speaking English or German or Russian and stuff like that to help out the tourists. But the thing is, if you know a few words in Polish, it really opens the door. Like, people are really happy, even if it's just like dziękuję, which is like thank you, or prosim, which is please, or piwo, which is beer. I remember I was like, piwo prosim. They're like, oh hey, they were so happy with it, and it really goes a long way to open up the people, because you'll notice that people seem kind of dour and quiet and stern sometimes, and that's one way to open them up, okay? Now, our next don't for you is don't worry about busting the bank when you come here to Poland. Poland is an extremely affordable country to visit.
Okay. It's very affordable. Don't worry about spending a bunch of money when you're in Poland because it's very affordable. Okay, cool.
Hotels, eating, drinking, all kinds of stuff, making merry. It is really cheap here. Also, going to the museums is really affordable as well. So it's a nice place to check out. That's why when you go to Krakow, they get 10 million tourists, from high-end tourists to low income, not low income, but people that are spending a lot of money on tourism, because it's not an expensive place to be. So that's kind of a cool thing. Now, my fifth don't for you kind of goes along with that cheap eating and drinking. Don't drink in public in Poland. Look, you can get arrested or fined for drinking in public.
Same with America, actually. Interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. I feel like in a lot of the most popular places in Europe, it's legal to drink publicly, so that's a good tip. That's a good one.
Now you see this nice square here. Yes, you can eat and drink at the restaurants and the bars like that, no problem. But if you're going to like take some wine or a beer, some of the local beer, which are pretty good here, and go take that to a park and drink there with your friends, you can get in trouble with the cops. So make sure you do not drink in public. To go along with that, don't forget you need to have an ID with you all the time. If you don't want to carry your passport with you, what I do is I'll actually have my driver's license from home and a photocopy of my passport with my passport locked up back at the hotel. So you do have that, because the cops could ask you for it if they really wanted to. They usually don't bother the tourists, so it's not that big of a deal, but just in case, so you know. Now our next don't for you is don't try to pay with big bills. Now big bills are like 50 swatis or 100 swatis, like 100 or a 50. If it's like under 20, because people ask you, oh, do you have anything smaller? They're always going to ask for a smaller bill. The thing is, when you
gotta get that change, boy.
go to the ATMs, it gives you 50s and 100s. But when you go get a beer or something like that, it's 7 or 8. I'm like, oh, do you have some smaller bills? You have some smaller bills? So when you go to a museum,
what the frick is this? What is this? This looks like an AI generated picture. What is this?
so you go to like big stores and stuff like that. Use the bigger bills there, the hundreds and stuff like that, to break them into 10s and 20s. So then you can go get your little snacks. Maybe you want your little, Polish donut, or you want to go get a hot dog or something like that when you're here, or just grab a beer. You need that change, okay? So don't use the big bills here, right? Another don't I have for you is don't forget to tip when you are here. Usually.
Oh, tipping culture in Poland. I wonder what percentage is expected.
You tip 10 to 15%. 10% is normal, 15% of it's good. But you can look on the menu, and some restaurants already put that 10% on there. I know the place I wait here on the square. Remember, you're not going to bust the bank, so didn't feel ripped off.
Damn, all this food looks so freaking good, though.
It was so cheap. The 10% was already included. She was very nice and helpful. I gave her a little bit extra on there. No big deal, okay? And going along with that, when you pay your...
Now I'm hungry. Damn it. Every time I watch a video that has food in it, it makes me hungry.
Bill, they'll always ask you to pay with credit card or cash. And if you're going to pay with cash, if you put the money in the little thing and give it to them, don't say thank you. Unless you want them to keep all the money, okay? So let's say you got 110 bill and you give them 150, you say thank you or dziękuję, they'll think, oh, a 40 tip for me, and they'll just walk away with it. You need to tell them, here's this, then they'll bring your change back, and then you leave your tip like that. So you have those things there. What I try to do is just have the tip already there. Now you might tell them, look, I want to pay 140, and so they'll just have the tip from there and give you your 10 back if you have 100 and a 50. No big deal there. My 10th don't for you is don't be late. The Poles are actually pretty much an on-time kind of people, like their German neighbors. If you're going to be late to somebody's house you're going to visit, make sure you call or text them or WhatsApp them before so they know you're running behind, because it's kind of rude to be late when you are here. I mean, I was at the museum this morning.
I like that. I like cultures that don't like being late, because I don't like being late and I don't like when other people are late. If you have an agreement that we are going to have a meeting or a phone call, or somebody is going to be at a place with me, or somebody is going to come to my house, or I'm going to go to somebody else's house, and it's all an agreed on time and place and whatever, then that's what it is. I like that. I like that a lot.
And it was supposed to open up at 10. The guy unlocked it like at 10:01. And people were like, come on, it says 10 o'clock. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's good. Museum says it's open at 10 and they don't open until 10:01. Give me that 1 minute back. I like that. Good job, Poland.
That there, so make sure you are on time. And my last don't for you is don't fall for the nature tourism propaganda in Poland. Look, you'll see lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of tourism videos about the nature of Poland. And there are some beautiful natures here. The Tatras Mountains in the south by Zakopane, when you go skiing in the in the winter. You can go to the Masurian Lakes in the north. It's just beautiful. There's a castle there. There's all kinds of great nature here. But look, if it's your first time to Poland, focus on the cool cities that are here. Krakow is amazing with the town square and the cloth hall and the churches and the Wawel Hill, and you can go out to see Auschwitz and Birkenau, the concentration camps. It's a very moving experience. You can go up to Gdansk in the very north and see that city. It's beautiful. Lublin, come here and check.
Okay, so if you go to Poland for your first time, focus on the cities. Got it.
Check out Warsaw, and you can get around pretty easy. Don't worry about getting around. I guess would be another one. Don't worry about getting around in Poland. There's lots of buses and trains that go all over the place. It is a big country, so it does take time, but don't be too worried about it. Anyway, those are some of the don'ts we have about Poland. I actually have another don't video just for Krakow that don't.
Whew, all right, interesting. So don't go into the Polish nature if it's your first time going to Poland. Focus on the cities. All right, good to know. Yeah, a lot of good little tips here. I wonder how accurate they are. This is also an 8-year-old video, so I wonder how things have changed in the last 8 years, if they have changed at all. But for that, I would have to rely on you guys, the experts. You guys are the Europeans, potentially the Polish people yourself. So you guys will have to let me know, are these things that I should really not do when I visit Poland or not? I guess, is this guy full of it? I don't know. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And when you're done there, consider subscribing, leaving a like, all of that good stuff. It helps the algorithm, which helps the channel, and it's very much appreciated. Besides, you don't want to miss any future videos. But that being said, that's all the time that I have for today. So thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.